Are you ready to get your fix?
Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Monday, April 18th, 2022, and welcome to the show, whether that be on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, do me a favor, hit the like and the share. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It'd be much, much appreciated. So I hope all of you had a wonderful Easter, got to see family and friends, and, got to say hi to the Easter Bunny. Maybe, went out and did some egg hunts, got your quarters, got your candy, and are all ready to rock and roll for the next month and a half with all the candy that you got, or whatever, or however much candy you got. But, if you didn't meet with family and you're doing that in the next couple weekends, hope you guys have just as much fun doing that as well. That is what I am doing. I'll be going to see family this upcoming Sunday. Yesterday I got to go chill with the grandma a little bit, go have some conversations, eat some ham and some cheesy potatoes. It was a nice time. So hope you all had a great weekend, but we are back talking about football. It's a brand new week. We're in April, 10 days away from the NFL draft. The USFL just started this past weekend, and pretty impressed by that. We'll dive into that in just a moment. Today we also have to talk about a couple wide receivers that are said to not be expected at some off-season workout programs. Colin Kaepernick has also been in the news saying, hey, I'd be okay with being a backup in the National Football League. We'll talk about that as well. The Capital One's The Match is back. Who's playing in that? If you don't know what it is, it's basically a golf match where it's 2v2, okay? One guy hits the ball, one guy drives, and after he drives, his partner shoots the next shot, and then it keeps alternating like that, and they go through 18 holes. This has been done in the past with like Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers has done it. I mean, it's been, I think way back in the day, it was Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady versus like Peyton Manning and Tiger Woods or something like that, or Woods was on Brady's side. I really can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a fun little, if you don't like golf, I think you'd probably like this just right off, the bat, because I didn't know what I was going to expect when I started watching it. When I watched it the first time, I was like, I'll watch this again. Watched it again the second time, and after that, I was like, I'll watch that again. So we'll dive into that and what it all entails, who's playing who, and when is it going to take place. And last but not least, the Browns just gave out a massive contract extension, making this person the highest paid player at his position in the National Football League. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? So obviously this past season was the inaugural start, the debut of the United States Football League, the USFL. This was a league that I was, pretty excited to see what we got in store. Is this going to be top-notch football? Is this going to be, a bunch of, puds running around and not knowing what the hell to do? Are they going to actually know the playbook? Are they going to actually play at 100%? What is it going to entail? And let me tell you, folks, thoroughly impressed with the USFL. I wasn't for sure what I was getting myself into, like I've noted multiple times. Like, what are the rules going to be? What is the play quality going to be up to par? Obviously not up to par to the NFL, but hey, from what I seen, it was way better than the fan-controlled football league. I turned that on for about 2 seconds yesterday, just because I wanted to see old T.O., who scored a touchdown for the first time in his first game, and he's 48 years old, but Looks like he's 48 years old out there. We'll see how much better his route running gets, how crisper he gets, how faster he gets. But he's still able, like George said, one of my coworkers, he said, hey, 48 years old, still got his hands. And that's a for sure on that one. But the USFL is definitely better than the Fantasy Football League. It was way better than the AAF, whatever that was, 3 years ago. That really not the greatest. Then the XFL came back last year. There were some stars there, right? P.J. Walker to Cam Miller, I believe his name, Jordan Teamu, Taylor Heineke. I mean, that league kind of set the precedent for what spring football should look like. Okay, because you're not going to get the same type of talent. You're not going to get the same type of viewership that the National Football League will. But it's another step to where, hey, we can get an opportunity here if we play. If we play exceptionally well, the NFL scouts can come look at our tape and see what we actually got in store and maybe sign us potentially. And that's what happened with Taylor Heineke. Started for the Commanders last season. But again, the USFL was better than that. Now, the XFL didn't last all that long. I think it lasted like 4 weeks and it was averaging like 1 million viewers per week, which isn't a lot by any means, but still a million viewers every single week that it was on is still, in my opinion, quite a bit. Okay, not a crap one, but the USFL did something that a lot of people were questioning, like I've been questioning. What's this? Is this going to be any different from the XFL? What's it going to look like? And it lived up to expectations. The first game, the New Jersey Generals took on the Birmingham Stallions. Birmingham Stallions ended up winning this game 28-24. But, I mean, right off the bat, there was like 3 or 4 just deep bombs that were thrown. They were caught, and like it was one of those, times you're like, damn, okay, hell yeah, young man, like let's go. And it caught your eye. Like the level of talent obviously doesn't match up with the National Football League. But you can't expect that when you're watching this because we know that these players in the USFL have already finished college. Some of them might have made an NFL roster and ended up getting cut or was on a practice squad and ended up getting cut or released or whatever the case may be. And this is just kind of like their second chance, right? Like Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner, if you haven't watched his little doc or whatever it is considered to be, he was on, he got a chance to go play for the Green Bay Packers in training camp. The coach said, hey, Kurt, you're in. All right, get in there. And he said, hey, with all due respect, man, I really don't know anything. Like, I don't know the playbook at all right now. I've been here for like a day and a half, 2 days. I don't want to go out there and look like make a fool of myself. And the coach is like, all right, you sure? I just don't want to make a fool of myself. All right, sounds good. You're in the game. Next day, Kurt was cut. Had to go do his whole spiel. Find a family, work at Hy-Vee, and then he goes to I think it was the Canadian Football League. He absolutely dominates the Canadian Football League, and then gets another chance. And lo and behold, he becomes the greatest show on turf with the St. Louis Rams. Leads into a Super Bowl. Then the rest is kind of history. He's a Hall of Fame football quarterback, a Hall of Fame player. So this is what the USFL is kind of bringing, right? It's not going to be high-quality football, but at the same time, the quality is good enough, for me anyways. The quarterbacks, on the other hand, got to figure that one out just a little bit, because those deep bombs, and there wasn't many, okay? I think the receivers actually did a lot of the work. We have good receivers in this league, good running backs, really good running backs in this league, but they're going to get yards just because there's not going to be a top-tier defensive lineman. There's not going to be a very good offensive lineman. It's just how it is. But I think for the main part, this whole weekend, that stole the show was the defense of basically every team. It looked like the defense was miles ahead of every single offense. Like, the offense was like, we're trying to figure it out. We know some of our plays. We don't know them all. We can't open up a playbook to run everything in week 1. We have to kind of keep some in the bag so that when we can, when we get further along in the season, we need to win ball games. We can bring them out at that point so that they don't really have it on film. But the defense would say, okay, we're going to man up. Okay, we're going to play zone. You got a couple different schemes that you're going to run, and it's a lot easier, I think, for the defense to kind of get on the same page and know exactly what to do and when to do it before the offense knows exactly what to do and when to do it, if you kind of catch my drift there. But I was very, very impressed with the USFL. A couple things that are different, really none, except for one little thing or two things. We talked about the first down, getting rid of the chains. The chains are still there. They're on the sideline. It's just so that the offense knows where I got to go and how far I got to go to get there. But I think they had it once or twice where basically the runner was tackled, he was down. The ref called it a first down. They said, "Hold on, well, let's see if it actually was a first down." So they have, and it was. I thought it was a black blob. They fixed that. Obviously when they were testing it out, it was just a black football, or just a shadow of a football basically. This time it was the USFL football, and there's a yellow line, and the football was about 8 inches short, and it shows exactly where the ball was when the knee touched the ground, when the elbow touched the ground, whatever the case was. They tested that out. They did that this weekend. I like it a little bit because it speeds up the game, but it also gives us as a viewer, there's no arguing at all, because that microchip, the microchip could end up being wrong at some point in time, but I doubt that'd be the case. But it's set in stone, okay? This is where the ball was, okay? You don't have the human aspect of it where you got to bring in the chains, and who knows, that chain could be a little 2 inches back when they were actually standing on the sidelines, or it could be 2 inches forward. There's just a whole lot of fuckery that can go on. But when you bring this microchip, you know exactly, and you can pinpoint where the ball was when the runner was down by contact. I like that. Another little change, not a huge change, but in the National Football League, right, you score a touchdown. You can either go for an extra point, which is 1, or you can go for a 2-point conversion. Same applies to the USFL, except they added something. You can either kick the extra point after a touchdown. You can either go for a 2-point conversion after a touchdown, or the XFL did this too. You can go for a 3-point conversion. Now, the 3-point conversion, you start with the ball at the 10-yard line. You got one play, one chance, one opportunity, or you're going to let it slip, Eminem out here. And to get it, if you get that, it's 9 points. Okay? It's 3 points plus your 6, 9. That's what I'm trying to say right there. But I liked it. I really did. The drones. They had drones in this game to kind of give us a little bit more of a different view of the field. Now, I'm not really sure if they had to use the drones because they're in a college stadium, where NFL stadiums have that 360 sky cam where there's cables on it and it can go around the whole field, where the drone, or they don't have that ability in this college stadium, so they had to use the drones to kind of fly around and try to do their thing. They used them on kickoffs, field goals, extra points, punts, and basically the whole time get to see the huddle. They got to work on that because there was times where the fucking drone, I swear to God, was literally head high next to these players. If it hits some dude, that dude who's ever controlling the drone is completely out of a job. He's gonna get fucked by doing so. Sloppy angles when you're doing a kick. It would zoom by the kicker's leg, and one of my coworkers, Cody, actually, he brought up the question: do you think it would? Do you think kickers kind of in that league are kind of scared, or not really scared, but does it kind of shock them a little bit when that drone just zips by right next to their leg when they kick the field goal? And I was like, probably, because when you're a kicker, you got one job and one job only. If you screw it up, you're the worst to ever do it. If you make it, you're a hero. So you're in your set, you're ready to rock and roll, and then all of a sudden, the hell was that? Throws you off your groove a little bit. And honestly, I think it probably does mess with them. We see a lot of missed field goals, a lot of boof punts. Wasn't the greatest, but I noted a couple times, hey, not high quality football, but the quality for the USFL is good enough at this point. Thoroughly impressed with what I was able to see, and the entertainment-wise was just awesome. Had a really good crowd. I think Saturday, Sunday, so yesterday, Easter, not a big crowd. That's pretty obvious, especially with a brand new league. People are with their families. They're doing their own thing. We just got out of winter, sort of. I mean, it snowed here fucking yesterday, but people are going to be there on Sunday. But, hey, the USFL, 3.5 million viewers this weekend. Congrats to them. That's huge. Upgrade from the XFL, who had 1 million per week just 2 years ago. And I liked how they kept the NFL announcers. They had, what was it, Chris Collinsworth's son. I can't remember his first name, but damn. Whatever. But they had Chris Collinsworth's son, who was a reporter for the NFL as well. They had Jason Garrett. They had a pretty solid lineup. They didn't have like a Troy Aikman, a Joe Buck, or any of those top-tier guys to do these games, but being on Fox, FS1, Peacock, NBC, they have to have these, higher-level announcers that kind of bring that NFL aspect to it. It really felt like an NFL game from that point. But another thing I like, too, is the interviews during the game. Right? A wide receiver makes a ridiculous catch, or a corner picks the ball off, and it completely changes the outlook of the game or the outcome of the game, and you got a reporter come and sit down. Hey, so what'd you see on that last play? We know it. I mean, it's your first game here in the USFL. You were looking to get an interception. Who knows if that was going to happen, but it actually happened. What did it feel like to actually do that, and what did you see? Man, shoot. I mean, I was just out there playing football, made my reads, told you I was going to get a pick, and hey, we're the best team in the league. So stuff like that. I actually like that aspect of it because, when somebody makes a big play, you see them in the NFL on the sidelines, like, let's fucking go. Let's go. Pounding their chest and stuff, but you don't get to sit down, hey, wow, how'd you do that? Just went up and got the ball, baby. Stuff like that. I really enjoy that because the human aspect of it is what we need. I think that for the entertainment aspect of it, but I do like that. That's something the XFL had. The XFL did it way too much, in my opinion. The USFL did it just a real nice amount. Another thing as well is they have the coaches mic'd up, right? So like when the game is going, or when the coaches are playing or calling plays, you can hear the play they call, and then the announcers kind of say, oh, well, for instance, somebody said Zeus for like a defense or like an offense, or I can't remember. And the guy's like, well, that's probably because they're in a zone coverage or something like that. You use these words to kind of, start with the same letter, but it has a different. It's a different name than a zone. So it's like you got to kind of. It's really interesting. You learn a lot. I liked it. Thoroughly impressed. If I'm you guys, go out, watch the USFL. There's a game actually right now because last night's 7 o'clock game, due to weather, got postponed to tonight. That's the Tampa Bay Bandits versus the Pittsburgh Maulers that is taking place right now. The games are usually about 3.5 hours long, just like the National Football League. But very, very impressed. I encourage you guys to go watch it. Spring football is pretty fun. I mean, we got football all year round now, and it's just gives you something to do, gives you something to talk about, and something to watch. So we talked about the Stallions. They won 28-24 over the Generals. The Houston Gamblers, they beat the Michigan Panthers 17-12. Then we had the New Orleans Breakers beating the Philadelphia Stars 23-17. So definitely go check out the USFL. Now let's jump over to the National Football League, where apparently 3 wide receivers are not expected to, be at their off-season workout programs. Who are those 3 receivers? Well, they're 3 receivers that want new contracts. They want contract extensions because they all have 1 year left on their current rookie deal. These are Deebo Samuel. We've talked about him ad nauseum. A.J. Brown. He wants a new contract. I think he deserves one, which per at Diana Rossini on Twitter says, hey, the Titans and A.J. Brown are close to making a deal work, are close to having a contract extension that's going to lock him up to be a Titan for quite some time, so good for him. Then we have Terry McLaurin as well. Okay, he's stud over for the Washington Commanders. He wants to get paid. Why on the Washington Commanders? I don't know, because they have some fuckery going on right now. But those 3 are not expected to be out there at their off-season programs because they want to get paid. And I don't blame them. In years past, or not years past, I guess in past shows and past events, I've been very adamant on who gives a shit. Like, quit whining. Go out there and play. But when your contract's about to be up, when you've proven it, like these 3 have, get paid. Like, get your money, especially when the wide receiver market has absolutely boomed this past, couple days or a couple weeks that the offseason has been. Like, DJ Moore got paid, Tyreek Hill got paid, Stephon Diggs got paid, Devontae Adams got paid, Christian Kirk got paid. I mean, all these receivers got massive paydays, and these younger receivers, they're like, well, where's mine? Where's my money? And then for all these people that are out there on Twitter and Instagram calling them, giving all these racial remarks, death threats to Deebo Samuel, get over yourself. Like, grow the fuck up, okay? Because even A.J. Brown went on Twitter and said, all because now that I want a new contract, it makes me a bad person, a bad teammate and all this. Like, okay, do what you want and I'll do what I want, basically is what he said. Leave these guys alone, okay? If they don't want to do anything until they get paid, they don't have to, right? This is their livelihood. This is their money that they need, that they think they should earn, and I believe they should earn it. I believe they should get it. Terry McLaurin, stud. A.J. Brown, stud. Okay? Deebo Samuel, freak of nature, stud. Pay them their money. They'll be at practice. All these fans, like if Justin Jefferson decided, hey, I ain't going to be in a season workout program until I get my money. Fucking loser. Stay out of our team. Let's just trade him. Get rid of him. Release him. I don't want him on my football team. Those are the fans that aren't truly fans. Those are the fans that only care about winning. Not watching, not the quality of the game, not their fans. I care about winning too. I haven't even seen the Vikings win a Super Bowl in fucking the existence of the National Football League or since I've been born. I care about that. But when, it's just the quality of the game. We got to keep the good players. We got to, fans are really interesting, I think. All of us fans are very interesting on our different takes and what we think is right, what we think is wrong. It's just awesome. So it's all opinionated based, but these three need to get paid because they want new contracts and they won't be at their offseason programs until that happens. And I'd expect, hopefully, they all get their extensions. Colin Kaepernick was back in the news. I believe it was this morning. Basically saying, hey, I'd be okay with being a backup in the National Football League. If that means just getting a chance, getting one more chance. I want to be in the National Football League. I believe I believe in myself. I think I have enough talent left. I went to a Super Bowl when I was there. If I don't want to be a starter, if that's what every team is thinking that I want. No, I want a chance. If I have to be a backup, I'll be a backup. Because once I get my opportunity to step on that football field, they ain't going to look back. They ain't going to say, okay, the other guy's, he's healed from his injury, he's going to be back on the football field. Basically saying, I'll bet on me. If I have to be a backup, so be it. I'll be a backup. But I just want a chance. And, I've had enough of the Colin Kaepernick ordeal and stuff like that because he's always in the news every time right before the draft. It's just like, okay, yeah, I should get my chance. I'm going to hold a workout here, a workout there, and stuff like this. But I think this is the first time I've actually heard him say, I'd be okay with being a backup. Like, now it's just like, dude, I want to play so badly. Like, just give me the opportunity. Please. And, fuck. Give him it. Sure. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he, exceeds expectations. Let's see if he's the laughing stock of the league. Let's see what he has. Bring him in there. What team is going to take a chance on him? I have no idea. Because every team, or a lot of teams have come out and said, I think he deserves a chance in the National Football League, especially Pete Carroll. I just don't know if that's here or where, but I think he does. So right off the bat, that tells you, okay, well, you're not going to give him that chance. Be blunt with it. I think he deserves a chance. We'll try it out. We'll give him a shot. If it doesn't work out, we'll go our separate ways. Or, hey, look, if he wants a second chance, good. But it's not on our team. We're not going to give him that chance. Just be straight up, okay? But Colin Kaepernick is okay with being a backup in the National Football League. Sure. Give him the chance. Because I'm sick of seeing him on Madden at an 83 or 84 overall, better than some of these quarterbacks that have been playing for a couple of years. Like, come on. Okay, Colin Kaepernick hasn't played like 6-7 years at this point. So, can we fix that a little bit? Thank you. In other news, the Browns have made a massive made a massive contract extension. They extended cornerback, Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward to a 5-year, $100.5 million deal. He gets $71.25 million of that guaranteed. This makes him the highest paid cornerback in the national or in NFL history. He does so by, basically passing Jalen Ramsey's $100 million contract by $500,000, basically. So he becomes the new highest paid corner in National Football League history. And I'm pumped for it because I don't know too much about the guy. I think he's been very consistent. He's a cornerstone part of that defense, especially that secondary that the Browns really haven't had much success with over the past few years. But I think this is massive, massive for the Cleveland Browns. They also just signed defensive end Stephen Weatherly, who played for Minnesota and Denver last season. The dude's pretty solid, not the greatest, but you're going to get decent production out of him. I think it's a good addition to the Cleveland Browns. Not a great addition, a solid addition that is going to help your team out a little bit. There's no Jadeveon Clowney there no more, so you got Stephen Weatherly and Myles Garrett on the side. So I'm pumped to see what the Cleveland Browns have because now they have Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt on the offensive side of things. Defensive side of things, they got Stephen Weatherly, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. There's a couple out there that I'm missing, but I'm pumped to see what the Browns have do. They just extended cornerback, Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward, 5 years, $100.5 million, making him the highest paid corner in NFL history. And last but not least, Capital One's The Match is back, baby. Like I just mentioned earlier, if you don't know what this is, it's a golf match. It's a 2v2. All right? One person and one person join a team to take on one person and another person. These guys are teams. Back in the day, we had, I believe, Phil Mickelson, Tom Brady versus Tiger Woods, and Peyton Manning. It was electrifying. It captivated the world. I actually watched it because I said, hey, let's give it a chance. I don't like golf. I normally don't watch golf. Not that I don't like it. I just don't normally watch it. And usually it's boring. So let's see what this has in store. Well, I watched it, and afterwards I was like, when's the next one? All right, when's the next one? I'll watch that one. Watch the next one. Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers was on it. Bryson DeChambeau. And some other fuck. I don't know his name. I'm sorry. But watch that. I'm like, let's give it a chance. I want to watch this, see how it goes. After that, I'm like, when's the next one? I'm pumped for this. I want to see this. I want to watch this. This is good. Because when you're doing it, when they're in the match, you have an earpiece and all of the players, all four of the players. And especially when it's a pro golfer, they're like, if I hit it this way, the wind might carry it this way. And then when it hits the ground, there's kind of like a bump here. And then it kind of leans off to the right. And so that the ball will hit, jump, and then it'll start leaning out that way. And I think that'll give us the best opportunity closest to the hole to get a nice shot to hopefully put it in the hole. Or when they're when they're putting, they're like, okay, well, I think if you aim just a little bit to the right, like at a 24-degree angle, the ball should just scoop in there real nice. Okay, real nice. Just give it just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tap it in. So I'm pumped for it. I'm really excited for it because this time there's no professional golfers involved. Tom Brady yesterday put out a little tweet. And he tagged Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes in it. I was like, what the fuck does this mean? What is he giving the eyes for? Like, why is he taking these people in here? Well, I found out today, okay, because the Capital One's The Match this year will be against, or we have Tom Brady teaming up with Aaron Rodgers. They will be taking on the team of Josh Allen and Patrick fucking Mahomes. I'm pumped for it. Now we get 4 NFL quarterbacks, high caliber quarterbacks going at it. competitive styles, their competitive natures, just having fun out there. We got the old guns against the young bucks, and I'm pumped for it. What's going to happen? We have no idea. I'm betting on Brady and Rodgers, though, okay? Rodgers is a tailor-made guy, I believe. He likes to golf. He's good at it. Tom Brady, the same, except let's just hope he doesn't rip his pants this time. But Patrick Mahomes, he's been known to be a good golfer. Josh Allen, I'm not really sure, but I think he's an okay golfer. It'll be fun to see because this is just a bunch of rookies out there going on the course. Let's see who wins. I'm betting on Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. When will this take place? Well, June 1st at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, this will happen. So whenever that is, we can go take a quick gander at the old calendar. I'm assuming it's probably a Saturday. Nope. Why? Well, June 1st happens to be a Wednesday. Who's going to... We can just bump that back a couple days, like fucking June 4th or something. Jeez Louise, we want viewership. We want people to come and watch. People are just getting home from work at fucking 5 or 6. They got to shower, they got to eat, they got to be with their families. They're going to miss an hour of it. Jeez Louise. Got to figure that out, especially because I got to do a show here. What the hell am I supposed to do? We'll still do the show. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but June 1st, it's a Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. The match will happen. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers taking on Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I'm pumped for it. You guys should be too. We'll keep talking about that once it gets closer to the match. With that being said, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the like and the share. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night. I gotta go clean for some stupid ass reason. But you know, hey, just enjoy the weather. It's windy as shit. It's kind of cold. Let's hope that we get out of this coldness because it's fucking spring now. Okay, we're done with winter. Old man wrinkles or old man winter needs to get the fuck out of here. Okay, no more snow. No more, cold ass days, 30 degrees. Just bring it back to the warmness. But have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Do what you got to do. Recovering from your Easter weekend. We'll be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. Like always. And thank you so much for tuning in. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Deuces, folks.